How's it going, guys? So they finally released the new trailer for New Pokemon Snap. What a creative name, right? New. Why didn't they just call it Pokemon Snap 2? I mean, it's a sequel. I don't know if they want to consider it to be a sequel or reboot. I'm going to go with sequel. But this game kind of just came out of nowhere. I know they announced it in one of the directs, but they didn't talk about it since. This was a game that kind of just was in limbo for about a year or so. I'm pretty sure it was announced last year, if not the year before, probably late 2019, early 2020, whatever the case may be. We've got the new trailer, and things are looking pretty good graphically. I'm looking here and I'm seeing, Pokemon in lush environments, and it seems like it's going to be very true to the original game. And there's not a lot of information given in this trailer, which is very odd because in the Sword and Shield trailer, if you remember, and in all the DLC trailers, they at least gave you a company text. It would be nice to know, what region we're in and what the features are referred to as. So this is the Lento region, and we see, Pokemon fighting with each other. They're relaxing. It's going to be kind of the same type of thing. We're going along in a vehicle, we're taking photos, and we're going to be rated on our score by Professor Mirror. Again, very original. I feel like maybe the developers were just sitting there and someone was like, oh, what do we call the professor? And the other guy's like, oh, well, he's looking at a mirror and he's like, oh, we'll go with that. We'll call him Professor Mirror. I mean, really original, guys. So you'll also see that there's a giant Meganium in here. And I thought like, okay, well, that's a Dynamax Meganium. But it's not like as big. No, it turns out this is called an Illumina Pokemon. I kind of feel like they're running out of ideas here because this is just a glowing Pokemon, which kind of reminds me of a shiny Pokemon. Remember when they had Mega Evolution? It was like a whole new form, a temporary form. And that, that took some creativity, some thinking. What about one step beyond, But then they came up with Dynamax and Gigantamax, and even though it actually ended up being a lot better in practice than it was in theory, it's better than how it sounded on paper because of the sound effects and the whole effect of the accompanied game. It ended up being something that I really liked, and I expressed that in my reviews of the game and the DLC for Sword and Shield. So everything looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a blast from the past. They're obviously doing this to get new fans into it, but there's definitely a retro appeal there. They're bringing back an old property that a lot of people have fond memories of it, playing it on their N64. So they're going to definitely try to harken back. You could see with a lot of the gameplay features and the concept, they're not really changing it that much. They're just updating it with new Pokemon because a lot has changed. That game, Pokemon Snap, was actually released before Pokemon Silver and Gold. So that's really saying a lot. You have all those generations of Pokemon that, weren't featured in that game. But, in the same breath, this kind of game, it's very simplistic and it doesn't seem like they're really adding all that much content. Now, maybe I'm wrong. There's probably some hidden features. But I remember there really wasn't a lot of hidden features in the original. Now, a lot has changed from the Switch, coming off of the N64, of course. Many things have changed. There's a lot of space on there to put a big, lush game. You're probably going to have more levels. There's going to be more Pokemon, because even Pokemon Snap didn't have every single Pokemon that was in Red and Blue. So with that being said, there's a lot of potential here. But it definitely doesn't feel as special as it did with the original game, because you have to understand that was the first time that we were seeing Pokemon rendered in full 3D. And it was the first time that we were seeing Pokemon on our TVs instead of looking down at our Game Boys. I mean, the only way we could experience it on the TV before that game in 1999 was to play it on a Super Game Boy. So, like I said, a lot of that allure of it being the first 3D Pokemon game is long gone. But I'm definitely looking forward to this. It definitely seems like a game that's worth purchasing, just to have some new nostalgic memories. So, but we'll have to see how it turns out, of course. But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. What do you think about this new game? Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think it's going to be a bust? Do you think it's too much like the old game? Has this type of, gameplay kind of died out, and should we just move on to something else? Let me know in the comments below. But I want to thank all my patrons for your continued support, and I'll see you next time.